G'day and welcome to this week's video. My name's Robert Gowdy and during the week we had the federal budget. What I thought I'd do is just provide a very general overview of some of the changes that came in affecting people's superannuation and retirement income streams, and also the way that we can contribute to superannuation and when employers need to contribute. So a few key changes, and some of them were quite welcome. The first one, which I think is really substantial, is the need not to meet a work test. So for many years between ages 65 to 74, you needed to meet the work test, which is working 40 hours over a 30-day time frame. That was extended up to age 67. Now that's going to push through to age 74, where you do not need to meet the work test. And that's going to be from 1st of July 2022. Now, if you want to make a concessional contribution where you claim it as a tax deduction, that's when you will still need to meet the work test. So yeah, big change and allows us to put in larger non-concessional lump sums into super without meeting the work test, which I think is fantastic. The downsize of contribution into superannuation, and that's where people that have lived in their home and lived in the home for say 10 years or more and are selling that home to move into something smaller, you can put up to $300,000 each into superannuation. So that was from the age of 65 and above. That's now reduced down to 60. So again, another welcome, small change, but an important one. Now, for as long as I've been in the industry, which is now over 23 years, there was always a requirement that if an employee earned less than $450 within 1 month, there was no need to make any superannuation contributions. That has now been changed, so I assume from, again, 1st of July 2022, employers will need to make super contributions. Now, another really neat change, this is the first home saver scheme where it allows people to put concessional contributions. This is voluntary contributions into superannuation, obviously reducing their tax, so getting a tax advantage to do so, up to $15,000 per year. They can withdraw that money up to $30,000 as a deposit for their first home. That $30,000 withdrawal has now increased to $50,000. So again, I think that's a really meaningful amount, given that property prices are obviously going up and people need a tax-effective way to save for their house deposit. And please remember that the ideal deposit is 20% or more, which is very hard to achieve. But if you get to that level, you do not need to pay lender's mortgage insurance, which comes at a cost to the borrower. And the last one that we're going to cover off, complying income stream conversions. And this is where over the last couple of decades, there's been products that have been available for retirees to reduce their assets test threshold. When I first started, you could go into lifetime annuities, put $100,000 into these products. They were very restrictive. You didn't have access to the capital, but it reduced the assets test for Centrelink purposes. It looks like now that there's going to be an option where you can unwind these products, and the reasons why we might do that is that the assets test threshold may not be a client's problem in retirement anymore, and that money is still locked away and cannot access the capital. So there's going to be some interesting strategies there and some more flexibility for clients. I don't know the details as yet, but it's one that you'll definitely need to get financial advice on. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll catch you next week. See ya.